Start the whole podcast. Are we on?
That looked really nice, though. Your eyes were nice and like lit and ringed. You have such nice eyes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Today on Just Jam, we are interviewing Brian Soushek, the Federal Way Chorale's Associate Director. Join us in this arpeggio through memory lane through the vocal bands of our own virtuoso, a man of many staffs, clefs, and brilliance.
You know, you and I can have a conversation about Les Mis. We can talk about White Christmas and working directly with Brian, and then talk about some of the fun things that you and I experienced together.
I joined the Federal Way Chorale originally back in the early 2000s when I was invited personally by Don Barrows. And one of the first things that pops into my head is actually a memory with you, James. When we broke the risers, we went to Leavenworth. Going around.
Was that the year that we were there where the gentleman fell off the riser?
Can you hear me? Hey guys, this is James.
And I'm Justin, and this is Just
Jam. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about what we talk about all the time. We were talking about what it's like to be a choraler, and specifically before, during, and hopefully post a pandemic. And then we're going to talk about really what it's like to be part of the Federal Way Chorale and be part of this particular group. And we're going to interview some of the past, present, and hopefully future choralers as we go and find out what has brought them into this choral group and what keeps them coming back year after year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Our next interview is someone who has been an integral part of the Federal Way Chorale for a long time, and also took on what I can only imagine was a huge responsibility in our last semester for the spring concert of this year. And he is also a very dear friend of mine. And I'm really looking forward to doing this interview with him today. But we are going to be interviewing
Mr. Brian Soushek, the Associate Director of the Federal Way Chorale.
Let's get him in the room.
Brian. Uh-oh, wait, hold on.
Why does this always happen to us?
No, hey, he's there. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, whoa. Hey.
Hey, Brian. Sorry to interrupt, buddy.
Hey, sorry.
It's addicting. I just wanted to start singing with you.
We have a meeting right now. You caught me in the middle of warming up.
Yeah.
You know that one, right? It's called Dabadoo.
I do remember that one.
Yeah, it's related. Yabadoo.
Dabadoo. You warm up for vocal exercises for singing and for speaking.
This is true. Yeah, you might as well, right?
Get it all clear and enunciate. Hit those back consonants. Don't forget to hit the back consonants.
I know. Unique New York.
She sells seashells. Ugh, never mind. I take it back.
What did she sell?
Red dragon, yellow dragon. Brian, we're really excited to have you on, my friend. We've been looking forward to having this interview with you for a little bit. So
absolutely.
It's been a moment.
Yeah.
A moment in time. Sorry.
Or also, this is a moment.
Yes.
Aha. Everything I've ever asked for.
One moment in time. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, Brian, as you know, we got this podcast together to talk about the Federal Way Chorale and talk to existing members and someone as integral as you is just so great to have on, and we just have a few questions for you, okay?
That sounds great.
So our first one is, why did you join the Federal Way Chorale?
That's a good one. So I joined the Federal Way Chorale originally back in the early 2000s when I was invited personally by Don Barrows.
Oh,
I know, right?
wow.
Go on.
Whoa, okay.
So Don met me and was talking to me one time and he goes, I heard you sing. I've heard some recordings.
And well.
You should join the chorale. And I'll tell you, this is the cool thing, is that this doesn't happen a lot in my life, but I'm going to talk about it twice in this interview. This first thing, sometimes when I hear somebody ask a question or something comes up, I hear this little bing. It's like, this is important. Pay attention. So I got that when Don asked me about Federal Way Chorale. I'm like, this, okay, sure.
Okay, yeah.
Why not? Yeah. I'm not doing anything on a Monday. So, so I joined and I sang, I think, a couple seasons with the chorale back when Don was directing. And I took a hiatus for a while. I was kind of busy doing some other stuff. And then I heard he had retired. And I also heard that Laird Thornton was taking over the directorship at that time. And I was pretty excited about that. I'll tell you this. So here's the second thing that's related to paying attention. I met your dad, Justin, December 7th, 1998. And I know that for a fact because I just found the performance schedule from when I was singing with Rendezvous, the Green River Jazz Choir, directed by Ron Bayer. And it has our performance schedule for December of 1998. And we went and sang for your dad's jazz choir as Green River Choir, jazz choir, to kind of promote whether or not some of those students might want to come join Rendezvous in the future. And even though there were a bunch of other high school teachers that I met that day, your dad is the only one I remember. So I'm like, wow, this guy has presence. This guy like commands the room. I enjoyed meeting him. And I didn't again see him until about 2005 when I was working with some of the TJ students that were also working with him, and through a connection with Mary Jean McDonald, who I believe
MJ.
Oh, MJ, exactly.
Yeah.
She started to talk me up to your dad, and he ended up asking me to work with him at the TJ Musical Theater Department. And so I did that in spring of 2007. When I started working with Laird at the school, then that fall, he calls me up and he says, hey, I'm supposed to hire an associate director. Do you want to do that? And I thought, my plate is so full. And I just started with you at TJ, and I really want to make sure I can continue that because I had so much fun. And I love working with the kids and you and MJ and everybody. So I'm going to say no. So I actually, I
did not expect that.
Yeah, right.
Well, join the choir then. And I've got something on Monday. I don't know if I can even do it, because though that was another consideration, right? I had like a direct conflict. It was actually a Bible study. And I really wanted to consider it because it sounded like a really cool opportunity, even if it was just singing in the chorale. And so my story was this. It's kind of crazy. I prayed a lot about this. And one night on the way to Bible study, there was this huge double rainbow. And I'm like, well, that seems like a sign. And I figured out, I was like, I know what it was. It was trust me in the plan. And I realized at the end that I needed to move over to chorale. And so I went through the audition process with Laird and Megan, and came in and I sang Empty Chairs at Empty Tables from Les Miserables.
What?
Nice.
That was my audition.
It's a good song.
It's a great
It
song,
is. It is.
I love it. And I got in and was appointed the tenor section leader. And during I think it was about a year and a half or so, I had a lot of fun because I felt less responsibility. I was like, oh, this is like a fun choir thing. And you can ask Adam about this. We went to Leavenworth.
Was that the year that we were there where the gentleman fell off the riser?
Yeah, you remember that.
Oh yeah, I was there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you were there
year.
too. Yeah. So Leavenworth, Megan was still around, and I was like, hey, I'm just a happy-go-lucky choir person here.
Well, it's been you've been in the chorale for quite some time, and I know when Justin
Legacy,
joined,
you
were the section leader. You were the tenor section leader.
Yeah.
And that was
2008.
Brian. Absolutely. Wonderful year. And we all met each other, and it was a great time. And
we sang the apostrophe.
She actually moved on, and they had an opening for an associate artistic director.
Yes.
And that's where you come in, and you decided to level up. Could you tell us more about that and why you decided to go from just a singer, section leader, and then just leveling up to a leadership role?
Then the shift happened, exactly. And Megan wanted to, she started working with Chris DeLeon, who also sang with us, and they both exited the chorale so they could start South Sound Youth Choirs. And there was the opening, and your dad, Laird, came to me and said, you want it now? And I said, I think my schedule can handle it. I have a good idea of what the job requires now. I mean, I've seen it in action and everything. Sure, why not? And so I think that was 2009.
Indeed.
Wow.
What a journey.
Totally a journey, exactly. And
I had no idea about any of this. This is all very new information to me, so it's very exciting.
Yeah.
100% new.
I've told these stories to. So
right.
And then just in working so closely with Laird in 2 out of his 3 jobs was really incredible. And one of the funny things is when there was a crossover, and where like I was focused on one of the things, and then we'd talk about the other thing, like either chorale or the school, and I'm like, oh, my brain is full right now. I don't know if I can handle the other information right now.
Goodness knows it was to get another choir sang for Grace Lutheran too at some point. That would have been super awkward. Or use TJ putting on like a small like showcase or something at the church. That'd be fun.
Here's the funny thing, and this is a tangent story to the whole thing, but I remember when your dad did actually say, hey, we need a 4th choir for the community festival that's happening at St. Vincent's. Federal Way United Methodist, you should do it. You're doing it. He didn't ask. He just, you're doing it. And I said,
watch the first podcast. You remember, he didn't ask me either.
Oh my gosh. So I said, yes, sir.
Yep. Pretty much.
And so that felt like the integration into the 3rd thing. Oh, and then also there was a couple times Phil Wilkinson asked me to come in and help out with the Veterans Day thing too. So that was at Grace.
Yeah.
So I really did get to experience all facets of Dad's many hats and many lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead, James.
Brian, I got a question for you. I'm just wondering, with this journey that you walked with the Federal Way Chorale and with Laird, and in that time, what were your most memorable times or experiences as associate director, and more so as the interim during the last year and a half this COVID pandemic.
And one of the first things that pops into my head is actually a memory with you, James, when we broke the riser.
Yes, I was wondering if you're going to bring that up.
I'm like, how often? What?
Can I get a what?
Cloudburst. Or was that Cindy?
It was cloudburst, and we were told to make a voluminous thunder sound. Thunder. And so what happened is we like do this, and then we snap, and then we do this, and then we're clapping.
Okay, wait, I remember all of that.
You remember all that. And then Laird said, okay, now jump. And James and I jumped simultaneously and went bam. And the riser went like this and buckled.
What year was this?
You should go back and look at the programs. They're on Dropbox.
I guess. Because I know I've sang Cloudburst before, but I don't remember you guys breaking the risers.
The ground shook.
Go ahead. Made a mighty thunder. Go ahead. Go on.
I don't know if it got replaced or not, James.
They replaced that.
That's great. Well, it definitely needed replacing because it wasn't going to do its job that it was built to do.
So that was...
That definitely stands out to me as something that doesn't usually happen in a choir.
Especially not with the associate artistic director.
I know, right?
Some people move mountains, and we did something like that.
That's amazing. Okay.
Another thing that really stands out to me, James, you were involved in this too, was our small groups from 2015.
Mary had a little lamb? No.
Mary had a little lamb, and the doctors were surprised. Mary, did you know? And
that's the one, the pentatonics version, where you beatboxed, and I didn't know you could do that.
What?
Yeah.
You could beatbox?
Brian's got beats.
And sample go? No, okay, it's not like that. Okay. Not being recorded.
I have a little box and I go boop, 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 boop. My beatbox. But did you accompany us when we were at South Center when we sang those songs too? When we flash mobbed at South Center?
Me?
I wasn't there. I know that. Justin, were you there?
No, I was
heard
not.
about it.
Yeah, you did.
I heard about that.
Not everybody from the small group did, but that was also a highlight because we did it in the food court, and then Sheila got us into Macy's.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Oh my God. Is there any video?
There should be, but we were going up and down the escalators singing. So, and in that same year, we did I'm All in the Night Visitors. So
and
that was a really lovely production. I'd love to go into that.
And Ken Labertu were the wise men.
Mm-hmm.
And Laird entrusted me to conduct the orchestra that year.
Yes.
And so that was fun. And so that season was a lot of work, but it kind of broke new ground for what we were doing as the chorale, where we actually did like a full production.
It's an actual musical. It's something that the chorale
full stage production with costumes.
Absolutely. Exactly.
In fact,
I had a toga kind of outfit. It was cool.
Yeah, it was.
I was the only one who got to wear my tux.
Well, we had to follow you, so we had to make sure you stood out and we could find you.
And it was good work too. It was well conducted, I got to say. I remember that very well.
Thank you. Yeah. It was an interesting thing because unlike a lot of the chorale stuff that I'd conducted before, where we have a lot of rehearsal time, and I know what you guys I know what you guys are gonna do, and you guys know what I'm gonna do. With Amal, all these soloists came in and they were doing their own thing. they did their own thing, and I'm just waiting and following and waiting, and we had just a couple rehearsals, so that was fun. But my musical theater, working with kids in live performances, helped that as well. I'm used to that.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So those are a few different things that really stood out in my mind.
Nice.
You know, for the pandemic, when we were going through that, you had a unique skill set that Laird could not talk enough about, and that we all echoed. Just brilliant, amazing work that you did with the orchestration. Not being able to have a live symphony or chamber orchestra or anything, and then just to have it all just there and easily accessible. I mean, could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what's interesting is that when I worked for Federal Way United Methodist Church, that was something that I actually did quite often. When I sang with Dave Goslin, Doug Thompson, and myself, we called ourselves One Voice, and we produced 3 CDs at the church, which were there was 2 Christmas ones and a hymn CD, and that I did that for all 3 CDs, where I took the piano score and then and this was like I added to it, so that way it wasn't like the original orchestration or anything, but I would like add different instrumentation to it and everything. And then there was another project called The Garden that we did, and this was kind of a big community thing.
The Garden, yes.
The Garden was amazing.
A lot of the community came in and I recreated the original orchestration on my keyboard, so that because it wasn't available. So there was the recording available, and then I had the music, and so I recreated that. So all those different things really gave me the skill set to do what I did then for our different virtual concerts. It was really nice having the instrument parts that we rented or owned for the songs, because then I could just read it and play it in. But there was like Bridge Over Troubled Water and White Christmas and a few other ones I actually did. I orchestrated that off of just a piano score too. So
I'll
tell you, that was fun.
I knew like the whole time how hard you were working on so many things.
Yeah.
And I had no idea though that you actually pulled together the orchestration for these things. So this is wow.
It's another level. It's not just looking at the notes, it's creating music.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and
dude,
the first one that we
blessed
did,
to have you.
I spent a long. It was so nice just having one song to work on last spring, because I just tweaked that until I had it exactly the way I wanted it. When we got to Christmas and it was 10 songs, I was like, "Oh, get this done! It's due. Victoria needs it yesterday."
Oh my goodness!
So that was quite the project.
Amazing.
So Brian, just to kind of wrap it up here, I just have one last question for you, and I appreciate all of the information we are all learning today. I mean, this is just new information. I'm just loving it. If you want to sum it all up, what is it that you love about choir or singing, or more specifically, what makes Federal Way Chorale unique for you?
Oh, yes. So Federal Way Chorale is unique because it is eclectic to me. Somebody coming into the chorale is never sure what style of music, what the selections will be, will be interpreted. And that really was thanks to Laird Thornton, because he had such a varied love of music as I do as well. And I think that's why we gelled so well, because we didn't want to be in a box and say, this is what we do, this is what we're comfortable doing. Your dad was willing to try a lot of different things. And it's if somebody wasn't quite happy with the music selection for one quarter, all you had to do is say, just wait. You'll enjoy something in the future because it'll change.
Yeah.
We will do something else very shortly, and it'll probably be right up your alley.
Absolutely. I mean, we did like a masterwork for Christmas, and we lightened it up during the springtime. And every time we lightened it up, we did something new. We did jazz. We did Les Mis. It was just an array of everything.
We did a whole jazz concert, which I'll just drop his name. Our new artistic director actually brought his group to sing at. So there's the connection there. So we attempted jazz, and look at that.
I think we did like 3 songs that quarter, and like 2 out of those 3 songs we hit.
Yeah.
If I remember right. 2 out of the 3 of the songs, we got those down. That I can't remember that last one though. That was a little bit of a struggle.
It was Amazing Grace.
But we
both did.
Amazing Grace, the jazz Amazing Grace.
Yeah, you can ask Tom Omley about that. He has the story for that one.
I will. Maybe.
We've already talked about that. It's funny.
Before we get you off the phone or off the podcast today, there's something I do want to make sure to say very publicly. Is just how much I really appreciate you for this past quarter, this past concert, and it doesn't even have to do with the chorale, but you were absolutely instrumental as a confidant, as a person to come and talk to. You helped so much, despite all the things that were going on, to get the memorial done, helping both my siblings, 2 of my siblings and myself, work through that. And forever and ever, I love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. It was the least I could do in your time of need. And I know that I'll never understand your guys' loss as the family. But I got to know Laird so well that I wanted him to have a beautiful memorial. And I'm so glad that you asked me to be part of it and that I could help him in some small way.
Brian,
and yes, I will. Thank you.
Blessed to have you.
Can't wait for fall.
Right?
Just don't trip. Watch your step. Wear pants.
I'm wearing pants today. Side note, I am wearing pants today because I got off work out of the car and came up here and did this. Pants are actually on for the first time for any of these recordings besides White Christmas when we had to dance.
Now, because of our Christmas concert, Justin always has to clarify this. Are you wearing?
No, wait. I mean, I will. I mean, this has been a running gag, but it's very true. For every single recording that we have done outside of tonight and when we had to dance for White Christmas, I have not worn any pants. I mean, I've been wearing shorts, but I haven't been wearing any type of normal pants. So yes. In fact, I think James, you have like 3 of them after I was done recording stuff. At least 3 of them, 3 different pairs of shorts. Yeah, it's true. It's all true. It helped me feel better. I haven't been a video recording artist before, so there was something fun I could do to be loose.
Exactly. And speaking of that, for White Christmas, you guys knocked that out of the park. That was
we had your direction.
Favorite.
How could we not?
Favorite.
It was so fun. So fun.
So, and also while you're on here, Justin, you're planning on singing in the fall?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I've talked to Tom, and I think we'd like to do that one again live.
I still have the jacket.
Good.
James, you have your jacket?
Do I have my jacket? I am ready, my friend. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's do it.
All right. I'm in.
I love it. Yes. Yeah, I'll leave you with this. I was talking with Tom Omley, and he said something, And I realized just how important choir is. Because he said, for everyone who needs to sing, getting back into a live rehearsal and performance process is so important. Because when we get together and we sing as a choir, and there is all of the magic that happens at that moment, all the harmonics that are created, all of the energy that is in the room, it is something special. And you leave rehearsal just enlightened and energized and changed. And so once that happens again, and we've been waiting for this, we've been on the precipice, and we're so close, but we're so excited to get back into those moments, because it really is valuable, and it's life-changing, and music is so important. And that's why we do it, to enlighten the world and to bring the beautiful art form that only exists in time. You do it, it's there, and then it's gone. And anyone who's in the space gets to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
From this moment. No.
Oh, there has to be a cheap version of that that's AKA free. Let's check Shutterstock music.
Oh,
I'll check.
Call Shania. Call Shania and see what she says. See if she can give you the rights.
Since the last time I called her, we can't call her anymore.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
if I could turn back time. No, okay.
Who has Cher's number?
Wait, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're doing Dreamweaver, and Tom actually knows Ola Yelo, so there. I mean, you never know. And he reached out to him by email and got a response. So
that's awesome.
You never know.
Yeah, Luann still chats with him on Instagram.
Me?
Yeah.
Some of these connections.
I know, right?
Jeez.
I just sit in my room making virtual music.
Thanks, Brian, so much. It was a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to have you in my studio.
Absolutely. And we'll see you soon.
Very soon.
Auf Wiedersehen.
So just by the way, I mean, I bet that we can actually get followed on what? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
And YouTube.
And this is where we will start delivering. Oh, and Twitter.
Yeah, we've been on Twitter.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, Luann's our social media manager. She's tweeting and posting and liking and loving, and yeah, she's all over it.
All right, man. So what is in store for our audience coming up the next episode?
Next episode is, you know what? I'm just too, wow. Next episode, we are going to meet the new artistic director. It's going to be a one-on-one, and we're going to meet them soon.
Crazy. Really?
Soon.
I'm so excited. Okay. Can't wait till the next episode. For those of you who don't know, by the way, James Deeregalado is an amazing editor. So not only is he actually the creator and the creative mind behind Just Jam, he is also the videographer, the director, the editor, the sound technician. So I really got to say thank you to that guy for actually just basically letting me come on and talk to people whenever we get the opportunity. I just want to make that public for everyone to go. And I'm also forcing him to edit it in here somewhere because I'm so happy with him.
Make me blush, man. Make me blush.
You can use that.
I don't have to color edit this. I'm turning red.
I'm seriously.
And you're turning shiny.
Amazing. I can't speak highly enough. I really can't.
I appreciate all the kind words, sir.
So yeah, this is what it's like to be in the Federal Way Chorale, everybody. Seriously, because it's actually about forming these weird bonds and friendships.
And rediscovering the beauty of singing together and singing well.
So thank you all for joining us today.
And until next time, this is James.
And this is Justin. And this is Just
Jam.
Talk soon.
Indeed.
I'll be your